You're listening to the Nerd to Know Media Network. Join us at nerdtoknowmedia.com.
Broadcasting from the Blanchistan Center, this is Phoenix FM.
The internet is a communications tool used the world over where people can come together to bitch about movies and share pornography with one another.
According to the Nerd Index, you should be upside down in a junior high toilet around the clock.
This is Todd goes in, Todd goes out. Never miscommunication.
It's over 9,000! My name is Foxy.
The balls are in there.
Don't face me, bro! It's a trap! I'm a firing memory. Time to Hey, Charlie, wake up! Oh, God, oh, man. Oh, my God!
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Nerd to Know Bases here on Phoenix 92.5 FM. With us, we have our wonderful cast of characters. Alphabetically, introduce yourselves.
Hey, it's Bryn.
Hey, it's a slightly annoyed Cian.
Hi, it's Katie.
Katie, welcome back.
And in alphabetical order, I am also Kev. Welcome back, Katie. It's been a hot minute.
It's been ages. Stanley, it's been ages.
You could say that you've been missing from the face of the earth.
Yes, I have been a hot mess. I'm not gonna lie.
Well, it was hot when you left us, so that's understandable.
And now, as an ice queen cometh back. Speaking
Let it go.
Speaking of missing persons.
This is why I should drive the bus.
Off the cliff. I've been recently watching a very popular show about missing persons. How's this segue? 1 to 10.
That's an A for effort.
Which number is the most worrying?
We are going to start the show by talking about the most relevant piece of news we've had in a long time. Both myself and Gian have been watching Netflix's recent Korean drama outing, Squid Game.
Just for those of us who haven't seen it yet, how many squids can we expect?
I assume at least one.
You know what?
You would think, right?
You know what? A couple.
Can I just say before we get rolling, because this is a mistake I made. My sister pitched this to me, and I thought it was like an actual reality show, like a Takeshi's Castle type thing.
Oh no!
You know what? We're probably at that point in society anyway.
Like I was like, oh good, I'll watch this to get some drama games for work.
I mean,
come on, children.
Hey, listen, I mean, Red Light, Green Light is a good drama game.
It's like if Michael Scott did drama games. I think that's
before we keep going on this. For those of you that might not know or are not in the loop, Squid Game is a recent Korean drama on Netflix. It's a death game show. It is a show about a bunch of people getting corralled together in a very secret location and playing games where the ultimatum is death.
It's basically if you smushed Battle Royale with Takeshi's Castle.
And Parasite.
And Hunger Games.
Yeah. Well, Hunger Games Battle Royale are basically the same.
It's actually, the thing is, it doesn't... I was kind of thinking Battle Royale, but it's not even like very... It's not very Battle Royale because it's not everyone fighting each other. Yeah.
Elements of Saw, maybe? Solving puzzles?
Elements of Saw. Definitely elements of Saw. Because that's it. Like, it's the kind of the very creative piece about it, death game elements, is that it's all the games are derivative of like children's playground games. Like the first one in the first episode is red light, green light. Where if you get caught,
it's lights out.
Lights out. Eliminate. And it's like to kind of start with, it's really good. And like as much as like I'd say a lot of great things about the creative death game elements. I've seen a lot of kind of different, again, Battle Royale, Death Game, Future Diary. I've watched a lot of these kind of shows that they kind of just kind of blended together. What really makes this stand out is it is also just a really compelling character drama.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to get into, because like I was expecting it to just jump in with the concept, but like again, Parasite flashbacks, like the first episode is just setting up the life of this poor guy. Now, not hugely pitiable or sympathetic, but at the same time, a real person going through tough times, and all the people in it are like, you know, kind of strung out and need help and all that kind of. So there's definitely a kind of social commentary angle to it, isn't there?
Yeah, like you go ahead, Brad.
Sorry, it's basically getting the most desperate people in society, because they're the ones who would sign up for a game like this.
Yeah, like I didn't say it as well, but yeah, no, like surviving the entire game is a truly tremendous crash prize. So you can really, and like the show sets up like the cast of characters introduces, just doing it such a great job at really making you empathize with. Yeah, like in their shoes, I would also try this awful death game to get out of the scenario I'm in.
The most chilling thing, and actually this is what elevated it from Battle Royale for me, was, and in the first episode at the start, they remind everyone of their financial situation and they offer them a chance to leave, and they don't. And that really that was the bit where my Stevie had to leave, because that's a really chilling aspect to it.
I think the whole thing about it as well, now I haven't seen it, but just guessing from the premise, you know, like you said, if you win, you get this amazing cash prize, you can change your life, you know, you can be better. And if you lose, you don't have to worry about it.
Like, you know, like a lot of characters in it kind of pretty much outright say it was like, I'm gonna die anyway, I might as well try this.
Yeah, that's a very cool idea for just to kind of like really weight the stakes of it, of the situation. Yeah, no, like it's that, like as soon as I saw the trailer for it, I definitely wanted to watch it. I just haven't had a chance to get into it.
You just have a kid.
Yeah. And then on top of that, just like, you know, it's got just truly stellar like set designs. Like, I am convinced I'm going to see a half a dozen of like the black masks and the pink jumpsuits now this Halloween.
Oh yeah, right.
Are you kidding me? In all the costume groups on Facebook, everybody's asking, where can I get this? Where can I get the mask?
Yeah, I'm already getting spammed Facebook ads being like, Halloween costume. We've already got these. Like, yeah. So that's they're just going to be rampant this Halloween.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, because like I'm not very up on my kind of Korean culture stuff, but I remember when Gangnam Style was big years and years ago, because that's how old I am.
Gangnam Style is still big, Kane.
It's still, well, I'm thrilled to hear it. But I remember reading the lyrics, and like it had a lot about how people are in debt by like pretending to be rich and all that kind of stuff. And here the debts here again. Is that really like a prevalent thing in Korea? Does anyone know? Or
I haven't a clue.
I think it's just social commentary.
Yeah.
It's like it's everywhere. You go anywhere, you're gonna find people who are destitute enough to try something like that.
Well, the one thing I do know about Korea, and it's a very pop fact, is that in the bigger cities, like people buy these 20 quid coffees and like have these big flashy cars because all their friends do, and and whether they can afford it or not, they're like terrified to not have it. And I have to admit, like again, this is very kind of like pop Facebooky facts, but I've seen it creep up in a few different.
I'm sure there's people. I'm sure there's people in Dalkey doing the same thing.
Yeah, you could say the same about anywhere.
It'd be like people on Instagram pretending to be like really successful influencers and rapper Dara. But like, so like, I'd love to find out more about Korea and all that kind of stuff, and just see, is this a big thing, or is this just something kind of the writer extrapolated? Because obviously poverty is like everywhere, you know, and so is debt.
Like, it's definitely telling that like two of the biggest pieces of media to come out of Korea, like in the past while, which would be this and Parasite, are fundamentally about social and economic inequality. So maybe there is a very distinctly Korean thing about it, but like I don't think it's something necessarily exclusive to South Korea.
No, maybe not exclusive, but even like kind of taken with that, like Snowpiercer is very like highs and lows of society, like, you know.
Yeah,
so
but
it's just
Snowpiercer was a French graphic novel. So
really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, it was a French graphic novel initially, and then the adaptation was made in Korea.
Oh, my bad. Okay, but like even in any case, like, you know,
that kind of also speaks to how wide these like these socioeconomic situations are, that it can resonate, that something like Snowpiercer can resonate that far.
I think as well, to kind of stretch it a bit more, it's kind of a commentary on, because like all of these things, you know, Snowpiercer and Squid Game and everything, they're all written by or created by people who were maybe turned down. Like I know the guy who created Squid Game was turned down for like 12 years.
I saw you post that, yeah.
He must have been, you know, at some point kind of in debt or on the verge of it, and so it's kind of a commentary on these people who are, you know, they're trying really, really hard to get their works out there, and so they're writing maybe even from their own personal experience of, you know, if this was a case, I would do it myself, kind of thing.
Just to back up my kind of incredible lack of research, I googled why does Korea, and the first thing it fills in is why does Korea have so much debt. So it must be
right,
unless that popped up from the algorithms because of Squid Game,
or maybe it heard you talking.
I'm glad it's not just me speculating that.
Yeah, it could easily just be that it was listening to you and
told you what you wanted to hear.
Thank you, phone.
We have one live audience member, and that's Keane's phone.
Yeah. Thanks, Google.
We don't stream on Twitch anymore, but hey, we're live for someone.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what, maybe that's as good a time as any to swap into the other big story of the week.
Speaking of Twitch,
not the den, but all of the technical hoo-has that's been going on. Bryn, do you want to take the lead on this?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know which is the bigger story. You know, so there's
the hacking or the den being cancelled?
Well, no, there's all of the Facebook, all the Facebook sites going down. So WhatsApp, Facebook, and Instagram all went down for like 6 hours. Like by the time this goes out earlier this week, I think it was yesterday,
Monday.
Monday.
By the time this goes out, another one might be down. We don't know.
Yeah. What's very interesting is that apparently around the same day that they went down, 60 Minutes did an interview with the Facebook whistleblower who basically had submitted all the documentation around who about a month ago submitted all the documentation around like everything Facebook knows from their internal research that they do that harms people, and how they're fine with it. How
they are just truly fostering environments for hate speech.
And well, it's not even the hate speech. They know that they know Instagram makes teen girls suicidal, and they don't care because they make money off of it. They know that.
So like, it's kind of like asking like something like the tobacco industry to self-regulate itself, that kind of thing. Like
it's entirely the tobacco industry being asked to self-regulate itself, and they're refusing.
Everybody knows that all the best corporations care about the consumers.
Yeah, I mean that's that's why it took so long to get airbags. It's
because I heard about this first, and it sounds like just a comedy of errors. Because from what I understand, it's that like basically one of the servers just gone, which obviously cut down all of the networks and all the.
It had a cascade effect, yeah.
But also because apparently Facebook's, again from what I've heard, all of Facebook's internal processes are all so inbuilt that the server went down so hard that they couldn't actually open the door to the server room because the digital key was part of that server.
Oh, for God's sake.
And they also couldn't contact the head of security because the contact service was part of that server. to get a physical key. Like, this is just how inbuilt everything was.
That's just the fire door. It's on fire.
I mean, again, we got an idea of like how bad it is to have inbuilt systems connected to each other because of the Twitch hack, where basically what happened was the hack itself was that these attackers had broken into Twitch's GitHub. So those who don't know, GitHub is a cloud service where you're able to store your code privately or publicly. In Twitch's case, it would have been private, and it would have just had all of their source code for how for how basically they do live streaming, all that, and how they do live streaming and chat and all that stuff. The problem is that they also had internal docs on their GitHub which linked to their financial information for everyone. It linked to where usernames and passwords are stored for all users. And
which here is your friendly reminder: change your Twitch password.
Yeah. If you have an email account associated with Twitch, change every single password for it, because you just don't. It's just not worth taking. It's just not worth having that risk. So they basically got everything. They have the source code. They have they could basically reverse engineer their own version of Twitch, call it glitch, and away they go. Because that's that. But that's literally what these attackers could do with this information. And that's not even the nasty stuff they could do.
Well, then, can I just do we know for certain that all of these are hacks, or is some of it kind of just incompetence? I haven't been had the time to kind of properly research this. What's the lie of the land here?
So, I haven't seen how it was done, how they got into GitHub, but from that point, depending on how technical you want to be about it, you could say it either is or isn't a hack. Broadly, technically speaking, I would say it's not really, because the documentation was there. They just read the instructions. What I would say is that the developers for Twitch massively ignored security best practices. Massively, colossally. There was no reason for them to have documentation saying, hey, this is how you get the passwords. There's absolutely no reason for them to have documentation saying this is how you get to financials, and so on. Just shouldn't be there. It's also not what GitHub is for. Why was it there?
So, if it is a hack, incompetence is certainly on the table.
Rank incompetence is I would say it is the table, to be honest with you, let alone on it.
In this case, is it even a hack? Is it breaking and entering if the front door of the building is open?
Again, it's still a private GitHub, so there is definitely a front door.
But it's like putting your watch in a paper bag.
It's kind of like if you go to somebody's house and maybe the porch door is locked and you break in through the porch door and the front door is wide open.
Okay. But no, what I would say is it's okay, so imagine you've got a house, right? And let's say that you've actually invested, for the sake of argument, again, haven't seen how it was done, so we're just going to assume there was a level of sophistication to how secured it was to break in, right? So we're going to say it's got a state-of-the-art security system to get in, and we know that they have other sensitive material that we really like, but we're not expecting to see, right? So we'll call these safes. Let's say there's 4 safes. So you manage to actually break into it, and then you get inside. What you find on the kitchen counter is where all the safes are and what the combinations are for those safes. So the first bit is a hack, but the rest of it.
Why is the rest of that there?
That's the point. That would be my major takeaway from this. Why was the rest of it even?
The question, yes, why did you come in? The second question, the major question is, what's this doing here?
This sounds like the technical equivalent of when my dog eats my kid's food that she left unattended. Like, you know, he shouldn't have done it. You can't really blame him either.
Yeah, like, I mean, you know, it's like in Anchorman when Baxter eats the whole wheel of cheese that was in the fridge. How did Baxter get into the fridge? Of course he was going to eat the whole wheel of cheese once he got in there. But how did he get in there?
Like, oh my God.
Yeah, I mean, that's probably the easiest way. That's probably the best way I can explain it.
That's amazing.
At some point, I'm not even mad. I'm just impressed.
Well, look, what do you think now? Bearing in mind, this show isn't recorded live, spoiler, and something else may have gone down at this rate by the time this airs. So what do you think this cascading thing, why is it happening? And do you think there's more to expect?
It's kind of hard to know. Like, I mean, obviously this kind of stuff is going to continue happening. There's this, like, for offensive attacks on corporations like this, there's the tool set that's available is only growing, and there's a level of it's getting more and more complex, and it's getting more and more impressive how these things can get broken into, because we are getting into an area where quantum computing is a thing. So it's going to get really, really muddy. To say, is there going to be another attack this week I'm not Nostradamus. I don't know.
By all, I'd say though, there's probably constantly attacks on their systems. So the likely answer is yes. Will there be another one that will completely shut down the server?
Yeah. Well, I mean, again, for Twitch, I mean, I don't even know how they're gonna recover from this. You know, it's not like the system is down. It's just that they've had every internal. It seems like they've had every critical piece of internal documentation stolen. So, I mean, what are they going to just have to rebuild Twitch?
I mean, it's an Amazon company at this. They totally could.
They could, but are they going to it would really mean completely redefining how everything was written initially. You know, I mean, some analysts believe that there's a Justin.tv source code in there, and if that's the case, go back a very, very long time. You know, I remember using Justin.tv. It was a great service. So much piracy, though. So much piracy.
Very.
Yeah. No, it's not for the site had absolutely. I watched an 8-hour run through of every Justice League episode ever.
For educational purposes.
Of course, yeah. I had to understand.
You gotta find out Aquaman's deal, obviously.
Yeah. So but that was way back. But if that kind of source goes in there, they're really going back to the very roots of the foundation. If they have to rebuild that, I really don't know if it's gonna. I really don't know how they would even begin with a project that size. It's not they're changing one feature; they're changing all the features.
Yeah, it's that, or they just quietly just kind of put Twitch to sleep, and then Amazon starts their own live streaming platform. It's Twitch with a new hat.
Yeah, well, I imagine it'd be called something like Amazon Prime Live Video or something. Something like that.
But that's they Twitch is one of the most popular media sites on the web. They're Amazon know know what's profitable, and they're not going to give that up.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, even seeing how much their top earning Twitch streamers earn is crazy. They're not going to hand. They're basically, because YouTube has a live streaming function. If they just shut Twitch down, they're just handing that money to them. Yep, basically. So it'll be interesting to see how they go. But like, I mean, like they could, depending on how they respond to this, they could be fine, or they could be in some really, really hot water. It's at this point, it's way too early to tell.
Okay, well, listen, that's I mean, as you say, we don't know kind of where this is going to go, and I'm not going to put you in hot water by trying to make predictions. But I am conscious that we've got a weird theme now of first we had a weird dystopian game, and now we've had a big internet story. Katie, would you like to discuss a film that slams those together into a weird, wholesome package?
That was actually a really good segue.
A nice little package.
A nice little package of whimsy.
Kean, after this recording, I got to take some notes off you on segues.
Yes, speaking of dystopian futures and people living in computers, it has come to my knowledge that Free Guy is now available to stream on Disney+.
Ooh. Have you seen the Free Guy?
For anyone who hasn't seen Free Guy, what's wrong with you? Watch Free Guy.
See, I think okay, because I had asked you this a little bit before recording. I suppose, is it good? Is kind of the first question to ask.
The short answer is yes. Because the slightly longer short answer is, oh my God, watch Free Guy.
Because here's the thing, I've been like, it's been one of the few movies to come out now since, like, one of the big major movies I should say to come out since cinemas reopened here, and like, so obviously it's been just advertised nonstop, and I've just been hesitant because I've been getting the whiff of Ready Player One from it.
Well, actually, what was it? I gave it a look. It's not behind a paywall, which is surprising because it's only out like 3 or 4 weeks.
So this is the thing about Free Guy. Free Guy was originally supposed to come out like last year or the year before. And they postponed it because of the whole pandemic lockdown thing. They really, really, really wanted it to be in cinemas because they said that's what we made it for. We made it to go to cinema. So we're going to hold off until we can put it in the cinema. So it actually got postponed for at least a year, maybe a year and a half. And honestly, I think it was a good thing that they did postpone it, because when I saw it was in the cinema and it was just, like, after a year and a half in isolation.
They can't see you, Katie.
That's effectively 2 thumbs up from Katie.
It was this. I don't know what that is. It's a thing. Yeah. Anyway.
That's the okay symbol.
It was chef's kiss, okay? It was chef's kiss. But, I think it was the kind of thing as well where it's like, after a year and a half of lockdown, not being able to see anyone, not being able to go out, that whole thing of like going to the cinema, you take that for granted, but it was definitely like this.
Yeah, like that's the other thing though, is I think all 4 of us have. Bryn, have you been to a movie since cinemas reopened?
Bryn has a child.
Baby, good. Okay, no.
Yeah, it's like, I mean, I'll be very fortunate if I go to a cinema in the next 3 months. So
put it this way, I went to the cinema like I think once in the last 4 or 5 weeks, and I haven't heard the end of "Dada, you went away," and then I go, but I came back, but you went away.
Because I was gonna say, like, I think like we've all, like, most of us here then have had that kind of feeling of like the first time going to a cinema since things reopened, and just I think the overwhelming positivity of just being like, the movie was good, but it was 10 times better because I haven't been to a cinema in a year and a half. And like,
I mean, I think I still would have enjoyed Free Guy just as much if I had been to the cinema like the week before. Or if I'd been to the cinema every week for the last 18 months. It's just a fun movie. It's just so...
Well, what's good about it then? Let's find out about the plots and shenanigans and things. Well,
number 1, Ryan Reynolds.
That's
Need I say more?
And Taika Waititi.
And Taika Waititi, yes, he is actually his wonderful self, as always. Yeah, it's just, I don't know, like, for anyone who doesn't know the premise of Free Guy, it's basically about this guy who's like a bank teller NPC. And, if you're listening to this show, you have to know what an NPC is. But for those small niche amount of you that don't know what an NPC is, it's basically a non-playable character that's coded into a video game.
One of those guys who like have two things they can say, and you pass.
One
them
of those guys
street,
that everybody
kind of
likes to. Everybody likes to harass and maim and maybe kill in the video game.
And to those of you who do not know what an NPC is, hello, Mrs. O'Reilly. I hope you're enjoying your 5 p.m. drive in Blanchardstown.
So
no
anyway,
shame, no shame. Reynolds... I'm a normie. I'll be Mrs. O'Reilly. Go on, Katie.
So anyway, so Ryan Reynolds is an NPC. And he works in a bank. And so his entire daily routine is he wakes up, he goes to the bank, he gets robbed. That's every day. And, he's just like, fine with that. It's all right, whatever. This is my life. Until one day he decides, actually, there has to be more to life than getting robbed at one point. And basically he decides...
very sorry, Kate. We're having a bit of microphone trouble. Sorry. Is someone moving there? Or
I think it's coming from Bryn.
Okay, there isn't like someone blowing into your microphone, Bryn, is it?
No.
All right, well, it seems to have gone now. Pardon me, Katie, please go on.
So basically he decides that instead of being a bank teller, he wants to be one of these cool people who like fly around on jetpacks in the city, messing stuff up. He's just like, you know what? I want to try that. Hilarity ensues.
Excellent. And because you say the premise and it sounds like potentially cringy, like talking down to sort of an internet online gaming audience. What works about it, It's
basically like, say you lived in Fortnite, right? But you didn't know.
Oh God, kill me now.
No, but you didn't know that you lived in Fortnite. It was just normal for you. It was just every day. And then you decide, you know what? I want to be that weird guy doing the what's the thing they do, the dance thing. What's that thing? I should know.
Floss.
The floss.
Katie, you can put two words together and it's gonna be that.
It's gonna be that, right? So, you see this guy flying around with a jetpack, blowing stuff up and flossing, and you're like, I want to be that guy. I'm gonna be that guy. And then
I see. So it's kind of a self-actualization type movie thing.
Yeah, I suppose it is. It's kind of like one of those films where
it sounds kind of like a live action Wreck-It Ralph in a way.
Kind of. There's like elements of that kind of stuff. But it's just because it's Ryan Reynolds and he's not he's doing his Ryan Reynolds shtick, but he's not doing it so the way he's like very sarcastic. So in this,
he's not like cynical. Like
he's not cynical. He's like really wholesome and really upbeat, and he's just like having fun with it. And it's one of those feel good movies.
So to kind of loop back to it, something Kean kind of mentioned or touched on, it doesn't say so. Would you say that like kind of, it kind of knows what it's talking about as opposed to say it's kind of a nostalgic, just kind of point and laugh cash grabs. Like,
yeah,
hey, that's a reference. Look and point to the reference. We all like the reference.
I mean, I don't want to get into it because I don't want to give stuff away, but it does have like a story and a good message and stakes and all this, adversaries and all this kind of stuff. But I just don't want to give film. Yeah, I just don't want to give too much away.
That's fair. And
it's not like whimsy for the sake of whimsy. Like it does have a point.
Yeah, and fair play to Taika Waititi, because when I went to the cinema, one line was for Free Guy, one line was for The Suicide Squad, and Waititi was in both of them technically.
You know what? He's just wonderful. He is.
Which while you're on Disney Plus looking up Free Guy, What We Do in the Shadows, the TV series, the first 2 seasons literally went up.
I saw that, yeah. That's mad. I'm looking forward to that. Also, I know we can't get into it, but the What If finale went up today as well. I know it's probably too early to talk about it, but book it in for next week because I have many feelings I wish to unpack in this very, very public way.
We do record ahead of time. You'll have a few days by the time this goes out.
No, it's because I never watched the finale.
Oh, okay.
I will say, I'll put it this way. The second last episode has made some interesting decisions that I am... To say that I'm excited about the finale of an anthology series says enough that this is an interesting decision made.
You're right. We won't give too much away. We're in not spoiler town because Dara isn't here. So veering away from that quickly, I want to have a quick 2-minute rant because apparently The Den has been cancelled.
Hey, Cian, don't make it a quick 2. You got 20 minutes. Your heart's content.
It will forever
All right,
be
well,
Den
we've still got the Den in Kingdom Hearts, so we'll do the Den first. I think I'm the only one who cares about it. Why? It's, first of all, it was great. And second of all, even if it wasn't, I was saying this off the air, how expensive can it be to put Ray Darcy and some puppets in the back of a Burger King and point a camera at them while they read out people's birthdays?
It's not a matter of how expensive it is.
Have you seen Ray Darcy's salary?
Yeah, you've got him on pay. Use him.
It's not like that's not like he's there already. He's part of that building. It's not about how much it costs. It's that it's a good idea, and immediately RT, you're scared of that. They don't know how to keep good ideas.
Like, I genuinely loved it. It was such, first of all, it was live. So any mistakes they made happened. It was like having a late toy show every week. And the puppets were great crack. They'd do skits, they'd talk to families, they'd have Mark Hamill on over Skype. And it was even not by the standards of a kid's show, I was looking forward to it as just a lovely experience every single week. And it's gone. And just, why though? Why?
And I mean, even if it's a case of, maybe it wasn't as popular as it was, they could always just bring in the nostalgia factor and do what Blue's Clues did and just do a revival, and all the adults would be like, oh, I remember I used to watch that.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, but I cried when Steve told me he was proud of me. I cried.
And I don't
have been away a while.
It simply can't even be a popularity factor, because what from RTE has ever trended?
Yeah, what's popular?
I actually, if I may, there's a trailer going around on Twitter about RTE apparently making local dramas, and it is the cringiest damn trailer.
I saw that.
It's awful, and it's a guy at the pub just talking about local dramas, and it ends off with him saying, "It was and when the twists come, and they will come, you'll never see it coming." And suddenly the barman has a gun to his head. It's what are you talking about?
The twists are coming, Kev. The twists.
What are you talking about? What actually is happening?
The twists, Kev.
The twists.
The most
Did the lad who directed this watch Game of Thrones once and were like, RTE can do this?
Well, okay. A quick Google of most popular RTE shows, and the fourth one's the Sunday Game, which isn't a good sign.
Yes, that's
Reeling in the Ears, which fair
it's
enough.
great though.
Love Hate's been gone a while. Young Offenders, again, well, they didn't create it.
I thought Young Offenders was another one of the ones they shipped off the UK.
No, Young Offenders, they made the movie independently, and then
it was picked up.
That it got picked up. Although I'm amazed Channel 4 didn't grab it first. Dublin Murders, maybe, I suppose, fair enough. And then straight seventh, the Late Toy Show. It's just
not even the Late, just the toy show.
Exactly. After that, it's all Operation Transformation, the All Ireland Talent Show, which I think has been cancelled for a few years. You telling me Tommy Tiernan, okay, fair enough, but you telling me you couldn't Savage Eye, that's been gone for a decade. You can't tell me that
it's a running
isn't worth funding.
It's a running theme where if you can name the 5 biggest Irish personalities on TV right now, none of them are working for the RT.
No, because RTE turned down Normal People and then bloody transmitted it when the BBC made it. Even
again,
before Normal People, your man, the director of that, said he doesn't want to work with RTE. He said that their attitude is they expect you to come to them with your idea. It's the complete inverse of Channel 4, where they go out looking for talent to sponsor.
Yeah, but I mean, this has been the way RT have been for decades now, and again, you look at how they develop talent, and it's no wonder that anyone their best interview they have for television is someone who didn't come through their system, and it's Tommy Tiernan. That's a damning indictment of when they've had Ray Darcy for 30 years, and he's a terrible interview.
He's great on the 10 though,
but for interview shows he's been terrible.
Oh yeah,
is the point I'm making.
With him.
you know, I mean, you gave him Dustin, and it's a riot, you know. But
I mean, if you gave anybody a puppet to vibe with, they're probably going to do okay.
That's not true now. Dustin on the Late Late Toy Show is kind of only okay. Dustin and Darcy are electric because he's just such a good straight man. And
but this is the thing, right? You put Dustin on the toy show. Tubbs is not vibing with Dustin.
But that's what I'm saying, though. It's not. You couldn't put Dustin with literally anyone, as we saw on the Eurovision, and he'd be good. You know, it is a kind of it's a chemistry thing.
So what we're saying is that we need the Late Late Show to be like Conan with Darcy, and Dustin is like the side guy.
Yeah,
I would watch the Late Late Show if Dustin was on every week.
Just put more puppets in everything. Doesn't have to be Dustin, just puppets.
Yeah, but like again, like, you know, you look at again, like most of there's been some really good presenters from Ireland who that have just never gone through RTE. Like, you know, Dara Breen has done dozens of comedy shows,
like the
as a presenter
type things.
Yeah, and like even like Mock the Week and stuff like that. But like, I mean, he did the panel here, which is great until it got cancelled.
It was actually really good when your man The Economist was running it. What's his name? David McWilliams.
Yeah,
like that was a weird, like, and again cancelled again. Like, how expensive and troublesome can it be to put 5 comedians at a desk? You know,
and again, like, you know, same again with Graham Norton. They just let one of the most electric personalities in the country just slip right through their fingers and ship off to the UK.
You just have to, like, you know, give him a couch,
like,
you know.
Like Andrew Maxwell has made documentaries for the BBC. Like, you know, like Neil Delamere has worked massively with the BBC.
Yeah. Sorry, like, I'm still looking through this list. Like, you
know,
Voice of Ireland.
And again, even recently, was Republica Telly RT?
It was, yeah.
It was. Yeah. They had Blind Boy. He was right there. And
but Republic of Telly wasn't great.
No. Okay, the TV show, the show itself wasn't. The show itself wasn't. But like, they had who is now one of the voice of the Irish youth, effectively, and he has just gone off and started work on the BBC. Like,
yeah. This is the thing about Irish people is we don't support Irish people. Like, if you see an Irish person doing well, the first thing you do is you flip to animosity. You know what I mean? You're like, oh, he's doing well for himself.
As in the kind of loving yourself type attitude.
Yeah, exactly. He's got notions. Look at him. He's doing all right for himself.
I won't say that RTE hasn't done anything. Like, I mean, what was that show a year or two ago? The Can Cope, Won't Cope. Like, you know, there have been one or two good ones, but even when they do, they don't really give it the support it needs.
Yeah,
but it doesn't get what like Derry Girls got, which is Channel 4, you know?
Yeah, but this is the thing about the whole Irish mentality is that we don't support or follow, you know, Irish people doing well unless they're doing well outside of Ireland.
Well, that's a bit of a chicken and the egg thing because RTE doesn't know how to really promote and put faith in the
and like depending on the field you're talking about, how well can you have done here before you have to leave? Like, I mean, look, again, you like talking about stand-up comedians. Like, I mean, if you go back to even to 2005 and earlier, how many comedy clubs do you expect there to be in the country? You know,
we don't have it. We just don't have it.
No, not really. It's the same. Like, I mean, like, who's supposed to be a successful filmmaker in Ireland?
I feel like they were exclusively in Ireland. Experimental, though. Like, I mean, back in like the mid 2000s, you had like things like the Blizzard of Odd, and you had the panel. You even had like kind of things that were slightly exported, like Just a Laugh, but they were still original. Like, it felt like there was television on RTE at one point, you know.
Yeah, well, it's more of a case that they were actually trying to cater to more than just certain demographics.
Yeah,
and then at some point they decided, that's doing really well with 18 to 35s. We'll get them back doing something else, and then they didn't.
Yeah,
and like, you know, they got rid of the panel, they got rid of Podge and Raj, they got rid of Republic of Telly, and then they never really tried after Republic of Telly. They had the Savage Eye as well, but like,
I'll put it this way. nobody I know who, after they like moved out of their parents' house, got a TV and have actually installed like cable television.
Yeah.
Why would you? I mean,
no
incentive. There's a fair bit of good on there, but and like TV3 will, at least TV3, when they come up with a drama, they really support it. Like, what was that crime thing they did a year or two ago?
Red Rock. Red Rock.
They really put their heart and soul into promoting that, and everyone, even if you didn't watch it, you were aware of it. And like, I'm not a huge fan of everything TV3 does, but at least they're trying,
Yeah. Absolutely. Like, but I think, like, we have like Sky here, so we still have channels, but that's because, like, like the BBC still makes great stuff, but it's just more of and Channel 4 makes great stuff, but like, if it was easy, like, I wouldn't have digital television if I could get the iPlayer, because I'd have all four and I'd have the iPlayer. And I'd be
all
fine.
All 4 is free, actually.
All 4 is free. That's great. All 4 is free. It's the best streaming service as far as I'm concerned. It's excellent.
Yeah.
But like, if I could get the iPlayer, I wouldn't need digital television whatsoever. Because
actually, you just reminded me of another one there. Like, Aisling B with This Way Up. That's another one. Went to the UK. Irish comedian. Like
Dylan Moran. Black Books.
Exactly. Yeah. Graham Linehan, he's problematic, but still, he went over there and became successful.
But another thing, how is it that RTE have got the most woeful web player on the goddamn internet? How is it that bad?
Oh my god!
Hey! The RTE player is an excellent ad player, and I won't hear anything bad said about it.
Let me tell you,
RTE, give us money.
You watch a great GA ad, 1080p on that. You try to watch a live broadcast, bam.
I've got 2 RTE player stories, and they're both quick, so I'll go as quick as I can. One was the only year I wasn't home, I couldn't watch the Eurovision. I couldn't watch the Eurovision because there was like an ad blocker installed, and I had to uninstall the ad blocker, and then the ad didn't run. The other year, I was at a bunch of friends watching like a football game or something on the RTE, like kind of live playery thing. It was slow, and we were next to a pub. So the thing was so slow that like 15 seconds ahead of time, you'd hear the whole pub next door go, "Way!" And we're like, all right, something's coming up. Come on, RTE player. Come on, let us know.
Oh, God. Like, it's... like the RTE player is like it's very difficult to fathom how bad it is. Like,
the RTE player is a wonderful piece of technology.
No, it's not. I am not about to even make that joke. It's bad. It's bad, and I am paying money for it, and I hate that.
Yeah, like paying money, like, it's bad when it's a streaming service that you're forced to pay money for because you could potentially go to prison for it.
Put it this way,
for not paying for it.
I've seen more ads for TV license inspectors than I have for any piece of media that actually comes out of RTE.
But again, like the thing that like really irritates me about like the TV license inspector stuff annoys me in the same way that anti-piracy ads annoy me, which is that like if I actually just commit the crime, then I don't have to see these things.
Yeah.
You also don't have to buy your own food or pay bills.
But at least with piracy, you can imagine that you're taking money away from some abstract creator somewhere. But the TV license, like, you're not getting anything really substantial for paying unless you want to really support TG4, I suppose.
Yeah, but I mean, and again, like TG4 is actually great. If in a perfect world, I'd be able to say how much of my license fee I want going to TG Car and to RT, and I'd be saying 100% to TG Car because
I send a bit to TV3. They try.
They're not a public broadcaster. So.
Oh, are they not?
No. They're Virgin, dude.
I didn't know that.
They're owned by Virgin. It's Virgin Media now. Like, they're doing fine.
Yeah. Okay.
Like, so, but like for TG Car, I'd rather see them get all the money because they, to be honest, they make the absolute most out of what they have, and to me that's great. I'd rather see them get it than RT because they spend that money better.
I would give it to them for their dubbed SpongeBob alone.
Just pay the Irish dub actor for SpongeBob more.
Yeah, if I can bring back the Irish dub for Justice League, I'm all for it. You know,
I want to hear Batman being threatening in Irish.
Yeah,
here's the true subs v dubs debate.
There's it's like you truly have not lived until you've heard Batman say "Toga Boogie."
Oh my goodness. Okay, so in conclusion, like the puppets of the den, Andre Darcy, if you're listening, please come to us. We'll give you a camera and a kitchen somewhere to record it. I know that puppeteering is a complex art, but
the Nerd to Know Network. The Nerd to Know Network. One day we will rise up enough to fight RT themselves.
If you want, Dustin, if you want to sit proudly alongside conspiracy shows and a now neglected game corner and our show on Spotify,
Dustin, please come on my show and talk about Attack on Titan with me.
What I will say though is, all it's going to cost you is you need to actually answer the question of, is Saki actually a Morbeg that got crossed with socks, as is described in the Morbeg's Wikipedia page? To explain this has to be done. That's all it'll cost you.
Oh my goodness.
And bring Zig and Zag, because they're always fun.
Because they're just lads. They're boys. That seems like a good place, Zanny, now to wrap this up. This has been wonderful, guys. I suppose opening the floor. Is there anything anybody would like to plug? Katie, you haven't been on in a while.
I haven't, because I've been a hot mess.
You haven't. Have you anything to plug in your time as a mess?
No, because I've been a hot mess. Just follow my socials. As soon as I start putting stuff up again, you'll know before I do. So,
I don't have a plug, but I just will say that I'm very excited for Kingdom Hearts coming to the Switch.
2 minutes. Kingdom Hearts. Sora's been announced for Smash. No more Smash.
We can talk about it next week, but just in case, like, there's someone at home going, "Where's Sora?" Like, we're aware.
Yes, we've acknowledged you're a good boy. Now we're leaving.
Exactly. Take it up with RGE. Blame them for it.
Yeah.
Bryn, I'm assuming no.
All I can plug is the Morbeg's Wikipedia page. Everyone needs to read it.
Fine literature.
Morbeg land, teaching us to understand.
As always, you can find me on Twitter at KevTalika94. And watch my D&D Greek mythology D&D game on YouTube at the Nancy Crew. Link now added in the bio to this video. Because turns out, searching the Nancy Crew straight on YouTube, you just get drowned under Nancy Drew content. Turns out, wildly enough.
That's a very sensible typo. So
as always, follow Nerd to Know's socials, follow the channel, hit subscribe, check out the other shows on the network, and we will see you again next week for another thrilling episode.
Everyone say bye, because they can't see you.
Bye.
If all this is worth it, we can work it. She says I'm not romantic. I say she's too dramatic. I tell her while we're at it, we can work it. She says I'm not romantic. I say she's too dramatic.
Hello and welcome to Nerd to Know Media on 92.5. Can I start again?
Box. Caught the ropes.
1 week, I'll get that right on the first go. Phoenix 92.5 FM.
It's our king. There used to be a wrestler called Sin Cara, and his entrance was he'd jump. He tried to jump over the ropes, but every time he'd miss and hit the ropes, so they had to film it like 3 or 4 times.
Yeah.
Did 20 takes, and that was the best one.
At some point, we'll also have to show you the glory that is the Shockmaster.
Oh yeah. That's
tragically funny.
Yeah. I'm glad you said you've kept it to an hour, because every week I tell Stevie, I'll be back in an hour, and she goes, no, you're not, I'll be 2. And then, like, she's put 10 quid in it tonight, and I quite fancy winning that 10 quid.
Alright, but tell her the time starts from now, because I'm keeping it.
Yeah. No, as long as I'm back by 11, I get free coffee tomorrow.
Oh, nice. Okay, well, don't worry. I'll keep it to an hour.
We can make a point of it today.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, hold on. Before we go, is Stevie on the panel? Because she has to be.
I'll ask her. Honestly, it depends on the baby's behaviour.
Baby can be on the panel too.
Yeah.
Like, I don't mind. I'm okay with like her chiming in.
Yeah, I'll get the Shurikon lads to put out 3 extra chairs then. We'll invite Lisa, make it 7, have 2 people who've never seen Star Wars watching 3 or 4 people rage about it.
This is quite literally going to be group therapy, isn't it?
Yeah.
This is like I kind of think we could get the title changed to be, instead of being the post-mortem, just calling it group therapy over Star Wars.
Yeah.
Well, the group therapy is when we start the weekly meetings.
I think my trauma with Star Wars began on.
The bad man touched me here.
Pointing to your heart.
Darth Vader was in a hallway.
No, but seriously, you need to get Stevie in on that. Like, that just needs to happen. Okay. I'm quite insistent.
I'll tell her as soon as we're off the chat then.
Alright, okay, cool. I need someone to be like more upset than me, so I just,
You'll
just
get that in spades, I promise you that much. Do you want us to bring our purple lightsaber as well?
Yeah, go for it.
It's so funny. Stevie keeps trying to play with it, but every time we turn it on, the noise makes the Baba cry. So she's got this like great Christmas present that's being held hostage by her firstborn.
Oh well. That's like on purpose. Maybe she knows. She's like,
yeah, it's totally on purpose.
Disney Star Wars was too bad. You don't deserve to enjoy this. Alright, okay, right, let's back to you. Check out the Wrestling Rewind here on Phoenix 92.5 FM every Tuesday at 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. And of course, over on nerdtoknowmedia.com, the only wrestling podcast by wrestling fans who don't hate wrestling. We'll see you then.
Thank you for listening to a Nerd to Know Media production.